Cool, let's go. Thrifty Sydney 500, and wowee, that was some serious entertainment for your Saturday night. We're joined by our top three, Cam Waters and a couple of bulls in Broc Feeney and Will Brown. Hey guys, well done, that was seriously cool. I'll start with Cam. Do you have any idea how entertaining that was?
No, but when top it was pretty entertaining, and had a lot of fun inside the car. It was all going on. So one of the probably more epic races I've been a part of for sure. It was on for young and old. So a lot of fun.
One sec, we'll just make sure we're good on audio.
Can you hear me now?
Hey, the others on? I see three. Yeah. Let's try that again. Cam Waters, well done tonight. Thank you for the entertainment. Can you just put us in the driver's seat for what those last few laps were like, and have you realised just what the vibe around everyone saying that race was like?
I guess I've had so many people come to me and say how cool of a race that was and some of the best races they've seen. So that's pretty cool just to be able to be part of that kind of that saying, and how pumped the team was awesome to see, and just what a race! Like, it was all going on. I was pushing the whole time, and obviously I had a really fast car first in, lost the track position, and then had to fight hard to kind of get that back, and had a pretty epic battle with these two, and had a bit of a crack at 4, got it wrong, readdressed, and obviously I got beaten up in the process of that, but didn't give up, and had a pretty cool drag race across the line.
How did you pull off the redress? Because there was a little bit that went into making sure all the pieces of the puzzle fell in there. So how were you doing all that in the dark?
It's pretty hard in the dark because you can't really see how far away cars are and stuff, compared to the daytime. So I wasn't really sure how far behind Will was. So I knew I had to readdress Broc just to make sure I didn't get a penalty. I wasn't sure if I was going to get a penalty or not, but I didn't want to have that hanging over my head. So just rolled out of it, and then I saw 2 Red Bulls behind me, so I had to kind of work out which one was which, and just tried my best to let obviously Broc through, and then he fed me a wheel on the way through, which was probably fair play, and then Will was hitting me into Broc, and it was all going on.
Well done, mate. That was some seriously cool racing tonight. Broc, tough beat, but similarly, just to be sort of what Cam said, in the middle of one of the most all-time supercars finishes, just your thoughts on being amongst that.
Yeah, obviously on the wrong end of the stick there. I'd love to be on the top step there. Obviously, everyone's obviously talking about how good the race was. From my side, I wish it went a little bit better. It was obviously pretty wild for those last 5 laps. Cam's super quick, and credit to him and his team. They've done a fantastic job this weekend. So we made a big step forward to actually be able to bring a battle to them tonight. But obviously got turned with 5 laps to go, and then had nothing left after that. I was really struggling, but obviously Cam got me into the last corner a little bit, and I think he tried to prop up to try and half give that back, and then just had a front bar on my rear bar and was able to sort of drag me to line. So obviously I'd love to be able to try and break the slipstream, but it's pretty hard when you're up against the grass. So I was just plucking gears and hoping I'd go faster. But obviously it sucks to lose right at the end there. But I think we made big gains. Obviously got to follow him for a bit and put pressure on him for that first part of the race, and hopefully take a few things away from that.
Was there any part of you that wanted to argue the result or take this further up the chain?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there was a fair bit of contact in that race, but I think they've probably shown that they're going to let you race a bit harder this year by the looks of it. I think with the redresses, like the first one, Cam sort of let me back side by side, so I probably didn't think that was super great. That's why I ran him wide at Corporate Hill, and then at the last corner, I think he tried to readdress once again, but then was able to slipstream past me. So anyway, it's tough racing. The fans absolutely loved it, so I think everyone's going to agree that that's probably the way that we need to race now. So obviously there's probably a new style that we can probably approach this year if that's if we're allowed to race hard and bumping into each other, and that it seems everyone's really enjoyed it. So
All right, I'll take that topic to Will, actually, just racing hard, and did you think the way that played out was fair?
Yeah, I'm not sure. We were definitely racing hard, that's for sure. After coming out of racing open wheelers for a few weeks, I'm glad you can really hit someone and your front bar doesn't fall off. It's lucky I had my seatbelt on. I would have got whiplash a few times then with how hard I got hit. But Yeah, it was wild racing. I was just trying to keep, as close as I could to Cam when he was pulling away, because I knew they'd get in a battle at the end. And, it felt like Adelaide at the end of last year when I saw Broc spinning around. And, the only thing that I probably don't agree with is the impeding when Cam was readdressing, I think. I thought I was going to get round and he was readdressing for Broc, but made that thing as wide as a bus and sort of did a very good job of it to keep me behind while sort of slowing me down to let Broc back pass. So not sure I agree about that, but the rest of the racing was really good. I think this year, that race sets a new standard as to what we can and can't do, and I think it's good. I think we need to race hard. All the fans love it. It was a cool race. So, we just probably need to know what we can get away with and get into it and keep doing that.
Almost lost amidst all of that battling at the end was you almost getting Cam on like the second last lap or something in between 5 and 6. There was a little bit of a rub there. Did you check up there as well?
No. Broc was outside and we both dove, and I didn't know. I would have probably raced Cam even harder there if I knew. I thought I was going to actually go too deep in and Broc turn across, and I hit Broc because I couldn't see him. So I actually had to back out of that because I was worried of hitting Broc. So otherwise I would have gone in deeper and sort of, I guess, used my door a bit harder in that case. But backed out just in case I was to hit Broc.
And I think there was another one between you and Cam, like it might have even been last lap or the second last lap.
Yes.
But there was, you nearly got him at turn 6. It looked like at one point it could be a Red Bull 1-2 there for a second. This is after the redress, like laps after.
Yeah, I don't know. There was that much running into each other and stuff going on. It was great racing. At the end of the day, dragging down to the line there was pretty cool. It was good racing, but it was cool.
Fair enough. Thank you, mate. Let's open it up to the journos that we've got here. Got the pit party going on outside.
Probably to you, Broc. You seem the least heavy of the three at the minute.
Yeah.
But are you happy that you know what the standard is going forward in terms of rubbing is? Do you think rubbing is now racing in supercars?
I think it always has been to an extent, but I think when the race is so exciting, I really think that they're probably not going to. I think they want to do that. I think obviously with the finals coming in, there's been a lot of talk and over the last couple of years about how they want the rules to go for racing, and I think we're going nearly more and more NASCAR style, where in general, where you can sort of rub up a little bit more. I think. I think you can see tonight, obviously we're all running into each other quite a lot. So I think that's probably what everyone wants to see. I mean, as I said, I'm sure everyone in here agrees that's probably one of the best races there's been in a while, supercars, and it come with a lot of running into each other. So, as Will sort of said, you don't see that in F1 or a lot of other categories around the world. So it's probably exciting. Not the best when you're on the worst side of it, but I suppose we can race pretty hard.
So with what you've learned tonight, does that change your approach going forward? This is a question for all three of you. If you know you can do that stuff all the time, can we, the fans, expect to see that all the time?
I think from what you saw tonight, obviously the first one, I don't think Cam intended to turn me. And it was the same with the one at the end. Both times he did try and readdress the situation. So I think we still got that cloud over. Obviously can't speak for Cam, but I think we've still got that cloud over us. With contact, does there come a penalty? And we're probably a little bit unsure around it at the moment. So that's what I got.
How do you feel, Cam? Yeah, pretty well just what Broc said.
That was very good.
Yeah.
What about you? We can just, it is a bit of a grey area now. I reckon, you probably need to either take the gloves off completely or, from there, it's a hard one at the end of the day to know, because I think, as we say, the race was so exciting tonight, you don't want to penalise anyone because it was so good for everyone at home. Everyone enjoyed it and watched it. To penalise anyone would have been very disappointing after the race. But, also, if you're doing that for 5th place now, they're going to penalise you. You know what I mean? So it's a very grey area to now know if you can do that for 5th place or if it's just you can do it for 1st. And that's the hardest thing right now is for us going into, the rest of the season is, can you get away with that every day?
Will you guys seek some clarity perhaps from Beardo or anyone at Supercars around sort of the racing rules now?
Get some clarity when we next run into someone. and see if we get the penalty.
I think Beardo's usually pretty good at looking at all different incidents, and I think what he looks at is overlap, and then if the cars are in control or out of control, and that really dictates if it's going to be a penalty or not. And sometimes if there's a little bit of overlap, it's onus on probably both cars to try and get through the corner, and if the car on the inside's locked up and it's got no chance of making the corner, then obviously it's a clear penalty. So we've always hit people into the corner or tried to loosen them up and things like that. So that's all part of supercars. So I just think tonight was just a bit off the chain because of the circumstances. I had a really fast car. I was hunting Broc down. I had a dip, and then obviously brought Will into it as well. So it was probably the perfect storm.
Was that the absolute limit, do you think? Like in terms of obviously you had an incident there, you redressed, and the rest sort of played out. It felt like a relatively natural conclusion, but obviously there was that incident between yourself and Broc.
It's hard because I guess the turn 4, I got a fair way up the inside of him, but I did lock a brake late because he was kind of coming down on me a little bit, and I was on the dirtier side of the roads, which probably caused me to lock the brake. So I felt like I probably had nearly done enough, but obviously once he was silhouetting off the track, I was like, that's obviously not probably going to be good enough. So that's why I obviously did the readdress and whatnot. And we all want to race really hard. We want a little bit of rubbing for sure. We want to put on a show for all the fans. We just don't want cars, spinning off the tracks.
Hey, Cam, can I get your thoughts on the first round of pit stops and just losing the lead like that?
It was... It's what it is. I obviously had a bit of a gap and had an okay pit stop, but it's just hard because I wasn't sure if Will was going to pull up beside me and wait for Broc to go, or he was going to come in and it was a bit of probably a grey area. I wasn't really sure what to do, but made the right decision, and Matty told me to stop and obviously lost that spot, but it is what it is. That's part of the game we play, right?
And the choice to go longer through that next part of the race, what were you thinking about that strategy at that time, and were you worried about the work you're going to have to do later?
Not really. I knew I had a fast car. I just wanted to do something different. So it was either going to go early or long. When I come out in 4th, I was not dirty, but I knew I had some work to do. I had a tyre advantage. So, I rolled the dice and it worked.
First fuel churn race, guys. What do we think? Broc, fuel churns and the 200k format tonight. Your thoughts on that?
I don't know. What do you think on the fuel churns? I mean, for us drivers, we just pull up and they plug fuel in and we go when they say go. So there's not really much that changes for us. I mean, obviously, fuel to tyres time's probably a little bit different to what it has been. So credit to our crew. They're really fast at the 4-stop tyre changes. The 200k races, I think we like that. I think these races probably suit us a little bit more. Yesterday, there probably wasn't really much you could do strategy-wise, where I think tonight you could probably play around a little bit more. So I think deg racing's pretty good, though. Like, I think it creates passing and that sort of stuff. So tonight it was a pretty good race. Like, you guys got to see that.
Yep. Hey, Will, was there any chance of going around and not doing the stack? Because we saw one driver decide to do that, and obviously you guys played that card so well at Sandown. Was there any talk about you guys not double stacking today?
Oh, I see what you mean. No, there wasn't. There was no talk of that, actually, and I'm not sure if we would have been hindered by that or not. Probably not, but I knew I could. You got 15 seconds to slow down, so I saw Thomas obviously behind. I know I had Chaz behind me, but Thomas dropped back a fair way to get back from Cam, and I sort of did the same. So I really didn't have to stop for that long. I think I just pretty much rolled into my pit bay, which was lucky for Cam and myself. But it was really just the guys switching the tyres around, getting the right tyres, putting the all of that was the delay. But no, it was fine.
Do you think maybe dropping the fuel drop has limited the stacking time as well? Maybe that helped tonight.
Yeah, I think so. It was very short. It's just fuel to tyres pretty much with how quick it is.
All right. Anyone else with anything from the floor tonight? Sweet. Guys, thank you. Well done.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.